I spent the last month absolutely snared in a fever dream because of Off With Their Heads by Zoe Hana Mikuta. This is an Alice in Wonderland retelling that upped the gay, the gore, and is for anyone who loves supporting women's wrongs and rights. I had to read this in small increments over the course of a month because it made me feel insane. And I don't mean that offensively, I mean that because this was written so perfectly to reflect the unhinged states of Caro, Ika, and Hattie that I just needed to be like in a focused mental state to comprehend the sentences because the way they were written, just thoughts tumble into one another and change, and suddenly it's like you're thinking about a new thing, but then you're like cackling because you're thinking about murdering your ex-lover, and it's like you have to focus, but in the best way. I loved the magic system. It was very visceral and gooey, and you can kind of tell by the cover, like the magic seeps out of like their eyes and their nose and the back of their molars, and it's just like just drippy as they're using magic and summoning it, and it's just like gross but in a great way. Also, they worship whatever gods they want, so it can be birds, dark, carnage, kind of reflecting their power and their values. So there's a lot to do there, and it's really fun. You can play with it instead of just like God, it's like gods all around you. I had some mixed feelings about the antagonist. They're all kind of antagonists, but the antagonist Hattie, the Red Queen, because at first I thought she was kind of pretentious. Instead of being mad in the way of you're screaming and yelling, she was just like silent. She worshipped quiet and was just this like uneasy, eerie being, which made sense at the end. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it all came together and paid off and made me respect, I don't know if is the right word, but it made me understand the character a lot more, and I no longer was kind of irritated with her because everything made so much sense about why she was the way she was. This book was dripping in strangeness between the settings and the monsters, and reading from three point of views that you're not sure if you should root for or abhor, because they're not good, but they're not bad, but they're definitely a little insane and do terrible things and maybe in love, but also want to kill each other. It's a crazy experience that I highly recommend. If you're interested in reading a book with terrible girls who do terrible things and a kind of grotesque magic system and world and creatures that are sewn together from multiple creatures becoming one, and want to feel a little insane with these characters, this book is 100% for you, and you will not regret reading it because it was a trip. It was a lot, but it was a trip.